Hello everyone and welcome back to week 24 of the Regular Size Man podcast. Now before we start, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors for supporting the show. Mum and Dad, grandmas, our girlfriends, no one of monetary value to us. Thanks, enjoy the show.
So hey guys, welcome back. We are back in week 24 with Jacob and Sam.
Hello.
And I'll tell you what, we have got an action-packed one this week, I think.
Yeah, I've had an action-packed week on the fucking couch.
Yeah.
I've been sick all week.
Yeah.
Came down with the flu, which is why we're recording this on a Tuesday. We'll get it up on Wednesday, don't worry. I will clutch up. But, you know, I've been sick. I'll do this little rant, my little therapy session of the week. Before passing it back over to you, I've been on the couch since like Thursday night, Friday morning. Just have felt like horrible. Just felt like ass. Haven't been able to work. Haven't been able to play games. I haven't played Modern Warfare since Thursday. So that's how you know I'm not faking this.
Yeah, it's not a joke. It's not a joke at all.
Temperature reached about 40 degrees. So chills, man. I've been getting literal chills because, but you know, it's been okay. I watched plenty. I've watched over a season of The Office.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I've watched Aquaman.
Yep.
We watched first Star Wars: A New Hope, the first one they released. I watched what else? I watched Far From Home. I started Umbrella Academy too.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of watchings that I've done as well.
In terms of podcast content, you've had a very busy week.
Yeah. In terms of actual content of life, not a lot. No, I haven't really done a lot. But that's okay. I've been enjoying just being lazy, to be honest. I've been enjoying the fact that I can just sit there and just watch shows all day. It's actually not a bad feeling.
I do enjoy that.
But I don't know if I'd be able to do it all the time.
No, understandably, I think.
No, but that's okay. How have you been? What's been happening with you?
Yeah, I've been alright. We played basketball. We had our basketball grand final last Wednesday, which you did not bloody rock up to. You had a Shawn Mendes concert.
Yeah, so you know what? Shawn Mendes was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, and look what happened. You got sick.
Yeah.
So
look,
really,
honestly, that's the reason I got sick. No, I'm not going to cut you off.
It's Mendes' fault.
Yes, no, I had work early, and then I had like an event, and then I had Shawn Mendes on Wednesday night. And then Thursday I woke up a little sick, and then next thing you know, I'm here.
It was Mendes.
I got a bit of, I can't think of a sick word for M. I got the Mendes measles.
That's not a sick word. Oh, wait, you meant like actual sick. I thought you meant like describing it as sick.
No, like I just like, you know how it's like Bieber fever?
Yeah, ignore me. Yeah, no, we had basketball. I hit the game-winning shot.
Yes, no, please go in detail on how you hit the game-winning shot.
Okay, I'll go quickly. So, we were up by 3 with 16 seconds left. They get the ball. Guy comes up, pull up 3. With 2 seconds left, it's a draw, 44 all. 2 seconds left. We have the ball, probably back court to court. Just quick chuck to me. I pump fake, turn around, and I hit the 3, and we won the game on the buzzer. Just saying, grand final. I'm big clutch.
That's very exciting. I'm so happy of you.
Sam missed it. So many people were going to record it. Anna was going to record it, but she didn't.
Why didn't she?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's the number one rule. You record everything.
You have to record the end of a game. Especially like that.
Especially grand final.
Yeah, you got it.
What is she doing?
I know, but anyway, so that happened. So I was on a big high on Wednesday night. What else did I do? I had something every time. I watched Zombieland, which I will discuss very soon. Like
we'll do. We'll talk about Aquaman, and then we'll talk about Zombieland in a bit.
But I did watch Zombieland too.
Did you make any other ridiculous purchases? Like you know, one week you've come and you've had an iPad. Another week you've come and had a MacBook. Have you made any other big purchases?
I bought a shirt, which was $50, which wasn't that bad.
$50.
Yeah.
I found these shorts on Instagram. Like, you know how you get Instagram ads and you find like these like cool. I found these really nice shorts for summer. Yeah. But the shorts were like $100 each.
That's the problem. That's because that's why they
were nice shorts. They had like little like animals on them.
That's why they're nice. Yeah. I don't think I made no ridiculous purchases this week. Next week,
that's
probably.
Good. You're controlling yourself.
Oh, actually, you know what? No, for Anna's birthday.
Don't say what you got her.
If people, no, she was with me.
Okay, it's fine.
No, so last Friday night, what happened was there was like people would know probably Jeffree Star.
I know Jeffree Star.
He dropped like this massive collaboration with Shane Dawson, which was like ridiculously crazy.
I've heard all about it,
and
my friend.
It was dropping 4 a.m. Saturday morning.
Oh.
And so Anna woke me up to buy it, and I was buying her that for her birthday present. She spent an hour and a half on the website. It crashed straight away. And she was on 3 different websites. All of them crashed. she finally got it, and yeah, so I bought her that.
Wait, so why did you have to wake up if she was?
No,
doing
I
it?
was. She woke me up. I was definitely in and out. I was not awake. I was very much in and out of sleep. But yeah, because she was on the phone. But yeah. Anyway, that was my week. So eventful. Definitely 5 minutes of events. Really.
That's really just an eventful week. Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I spent over near $4,000 on this brand new computer, and I've used it about 5 times in about 3 weeks because
that's very poor.
I've been either sick or just at work. I haven't used this bloody computer, man.
But you had to work to get it all back, you know.
Dude, honestly. No, I went home from work sick this week.
Oh, so you didn't even do that. You didn't even work.
No. I watched freaking Aquaman, and I spent $14 on rental movies this week. 2 movies.
Only on renting, man, as well. $14 to rent.
Don't get me started on this rant. I'm going to rant about this. Why do they make me download the entire movie on my shitty internet connection before I can watch it?
You should have just waited for Disney Plus. It's literally a week away.
I was having a moment of emotion.
It's a week away.
Because I was sick and I bought Spider-Man on YouTube. It's actually not bad on YouTube because it let me know. This is the Star Wars one.
Oh.
YouTube's fine.
Yep.
Also, another rant. Freaking, I spent $27 on Subway to get it delivered and it tasted like shit and I didn't even finish the whole thing. I finished the first half because I got a foot long, obviously.
Yep.
And I was like, this is disgusting. I don't want to finish this. And then I was like, hang on. I spent $27 on this. I want to finish it.
Of course.
And I took another bite and I'm like, nah, not happening.
How much was delivery?
$6.
Oh, shit.
I don't know how I spent $23 on a fucking sandwich, but we're not going to talk about that. I may have got Subway. Avocado and bacon. They all cost extra.
I might get Subway on the way home.
Yeah, well, don't get it delivered, man.
I'm not going to get it
delivered. Don't get the Suzuki or the feta. I'm telling you now.
Anymore.
No,
I'll see if I go in store. I might see how they prepare it, and then I might be like, I might be like, hey, hold the feta.
Tell them to hold the feta. Don't go Greek today.
I might have to.
Don't go Greek today. No. All right. So
shall we finally get into it?
Should we get into our little Aquaman and discussion?
Yeah, 100% we should.
Yeah. So I watched Aquaman for the first time because I was gonna watch it, and then I just never did.
Yeah. Well, Brian and I already weighed in on this, but I want to hear your thoughts.
I didn't think it was a bad movie, but at the same time, sorry, I'm just thinking. You know the episode of How I Met Your Mother where Robin always says "but I realized that I say "but too, and now every time I say "but I start laughing.
I say a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, so I liked Aquaman.
Yes.
But no, sorry. But I had the only issue, probably the main issue I say I would have with the movie is that at times I feel like the movie was a little confused on whether it was trying to be funny or serious. Like at the start, Jason Momoa, Aquaman, if you will, was like, he was cracking a lot of jokes. It was actually quite funny. You know, they had the moment in the bar where the bikies came up to him.
Yeah,
like,
and took the photo selfie.
Yeah, and you know, that was funny. I, had a bit of a chuckle to that. But then, like, after, like, that whole opening scene, towards the end, there was no jokes in it, and it kind of just the whole pace of the movie kind of changed. And I know,
but could you not argue that it was just getting more serious as the stakes got more serious?
But they tried to throw in a few jokes at the end, like towards the end. So like,
but happy resolution though.
Yeah, but it was before the happy resolution to me.
Okay. Yep.
So I kind of was like, I look compared to like, the only movie I think that did this like very well was Ragnarok. It just was consistently funny throughout the movie, whereas I felt like, the jokes were not spaced out enough to me.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the movie.
I haven't watched it in a while, but yeah.
That was like my only thing for me. Otherwise, I quite enjoyed the movie. It was pretty good. Like, they did the best, like they did well for what they, had to work with.
I think it's a fun ride.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I don't think
it's a great movie by any standards. I think it's a fun ride. I think it's quite a boring story. To be quite honest, like I know it's somewhat of an origin, and it like a kind of mapping out of the character, but I felt it was a tad boring.
I will agree with you there.
But
the story is a bit lackluster at times.
But because of that, I think 2 will be better because they had to tell that story.
Yeah, of course.
But anyway,
no, I agree with you.
Shall we move on?
Yes. Well, do you want to give your quick Zombieland thoughts?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll give my quick
spoiler-free version, please.
Yeah. So I watched Zombieland 2. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not the same movie as the first, but it's. You would think that they filmed Zombieland 2 10 minutes after they filmed Zombieland 1.
Well, that's good. I like
it's
that.
very much. It's got very much the same kind of beats, the same type of jokes, the same amount of jokes. I don't know. I thought overall, to be honest, it's a quite enjoyable movie. I think it's very funny. My favorite part is when they meet the two people that are exactly like Tallahassee and Columbus. Like, they're like the mirror opposite. Like, it's so funny when they meet them. I thought the storyline was quite good, but I felt like it was just very much like the first one. I had a complaint with the first one is it's just kind of like, it's a typical zombie
movie.
like story.
Yeah.
Someone gets infected, you got to go to a safe place. Fairly similar in the second one. It's different enough, but it's fairly similar. They left the door open for a third. I hope they do a third, but I hope the third is
10 years later.
No, I hope I hope the third is getting a cure, or it's just something a little bit different in terms of story. Everything else, I had a fun time with. Great movie.
Yeah, I think the fact that they left the movies 10 years apart allowed for them to do less with the story, and it's just more the novelty of the second one.
I would agree. I think this is they play on the novelty of the second one, which was great. I had no complaints about that at all.
Yeah, I really do want to see it.
It's enjoyable. It's a very fun watch.
Yeah, because I watched it with my family, the first one on Netflix, and they all hated it except for me. No, they kind of liked it, but I don't think they were willing to see the second one.
Yeah.
So I think I might just have to rope Kayla into watching the first one with me.
Well, my only complaint probably is that I think that. What was it? I can't even remember it now. Every time. Oh, I felt like they introduced 4 different types of zombies at the start of the movie. Right. I wish we saw a bit more of those types before they go into the actual thing, which I can't spoil.
That's fair.
That's all.
Fair.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So a bit of box office for the week. Terminator Dark Fate has released in parts of the world, not everywhere. It's here now, I think, at the time of recording this. But when this statistic was pulled, apparently it only made 12 million at the start of its opening.
It hadn't debuted in US yet.
Or Australia.
Or China, I think.
Or China, either. So it didn't debut in a lot of places, but the places it debuted,
enough.
$12 million is not a lot.
It lost to Maleficent, Joker again, and the Addams Family.
Yeah, so it just lost everything. Overall, it just did poorly, and early statistics are expecting the movie is going to lose $100 million, and it's apparently not that bad.
The budget's 185.
Yeah, so it's expected to get only 85 mil, which is kind of sad.
Yep. And the rule, you roughly double it for promotion and marketing, so 360-ish is how much the movie cost. So that's like. There
is a lot of TV marketing, I find, for this movie.
I thought so too.
I haven't found any other marketing. I haven't seen anything else besides TV.
As you said, though, you are right, though. I thought it's not. I've heard not bad things about this movie. Yeah, I've heard it's at the very least it's average, which
it's a bit of a revive,
which is good because a lot of them aren't received very well, especially the newer ones.
Yeah, they're received horribly.
Yeah, so like it's I don't. This is very interesting to me. It's not something I'm interested in, so I'm not going to watch it anyway. But I might watch it when it comes out on Netflix or Stan or something like that. Yeah. To prelude what our argument is going to be later.
Yes. Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, sorry.
Foreshadowing, they call it in the industry.
Foreshadowing.
But yeah, other than that, only really box office-y trailer things we really have to say is Jumanji got a release date with a new poster, which Kevin Hart posted on Instagram. So 13th of December for the US. I think 26th Boxing Day.
We get a Boxing Day,
26th of December in Australia. So that's very exciting. I'll be going to see it. I think you will be too.
I will, yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be exciting. Very keen. And yeah, otherwise we're going to Newsflash.
Yeah, let's get some Newsflash going.
We don't have a sound effect.
We'll get a soundboard.
We'll get a sound effect for Newsflash.
I'll download something on the new iPad.
Oh, exciting.
Okay, so just to kick things off, we've got Robert Pattinson has been learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for the Batman movie. He's learning from the same guy that taught Keanu Reeves for John Wick, so that's really cool. And this year, as I think Sam mentioned this to me off air just before we started this, that it's kind of interesting because it obviously plays into and heavily ties into the fact that he is a younger Batman, which is awesome and what I want to hear. Patterson's also been noted in quoting. He's been quoted a few times recently saying how he wants to really be lost in the role, how he's learning more and more about the character every day because he's reading all these comics. And I think it's gonna be a really dark movie. So
well, he was quoted saying that Batman's not a hero in the film, which is
no, it was that I thought
that's what he said. Batman's not a hero, he's a complicated character.
My bad, sorry.
And with him learning this jujitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, it's interesting to see it. Like I feel like it's going to be a bit of a beat 'em up as well, which is exciting. I like that idea because it's probably going to be a bit more raw, a bit more.
Well, the best parts about Ben Affleck's one with the fighting was the hand-to-hand combat, especially in the warehouse of Batman v Superman. So like, if we're getting more of or something similar to that from Pattinson's, I'm down.
Yeah, I think it'll be a more raw and emotional Batman.
Yep.
I think
it'll delve into the psyche of him.
Yeah, a bit more in your face. And that's what I really want to see that. I think that'll be a very good take.
Likewise.
So that's exciting. Good stuff. Go Batman. Go Patterson. Learn that jiu-jitsu, baby. So moving on. Into the Spider-Verse 2 has been announced, to my excitement. Big excitement here. So at the moment, it has been slated to appear in cinemas on 8th of April 2022.
2020, mate.
I thought it was 2022. I think
I think I've written it wrong. I think it's 2022. It's
wrong.
2022.
You've written this wrong.
Right.
I knew this at the top of my head.
Yeah.
Come on. And there may have actually already been a leak in relation to the plot. It will apparently focus heavily on Miles and Gwen's relationship.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I love the first one.
I guess that means Gwen from the same Earth as Miles, I guess.
Maybe.
Who
knows? Maybe she comes over.
We'll see what happens when we learn more about the plot.
And hopefully Post Malone and Sway Lee make a sequel called Rose for the soundtrack.
I like that.
Or maybe Daisy.
Daisy, Tulip, Lily. I know my flowers, mate. I know my flowers.
Anna would be impressed.
I think so.
But yeah, no, this is really cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, likewise. I want to hear more about the plot, but we got ages for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Game of Thrones directors, showrunners, whatever they are, I don't actually know. I just know they were heavily involved. Benioff and Weiss will no longer be directing the next trilogy of the Star Wars movies that were slated to come out, I think, around 2025, I think, roughly. It had been heavily speculated to be following the Knights of the Old Republic storyline due to their background on Game of Thrones, and obviously it being like knights and fantasy and shit like that, which was I was kind of excited for. I wanted to see it. But this is interesting because I think they also signed on for that. I think this is due because they signed on to Netflix to make those movies and they couldn't fulfill both commitments.
Oh,
it's interesting they dropped Star Wars.
Yeah, out of things you could drop, Star Wars is probably a big one.
But they also do have the massive pressure of, because this is the end of the saga, like the 9-episode saga, which was spanned across 30, 40 years. This current one now. Yeah. So they're going to be kicking off a whole new, expectedly 9 movie saga. So
that's true.
It's a lot of pressure, obviously. So I'm not like, it's not that I'm surprised. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, you know. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they get maybe. I don't think J.J. Abrams will go back on, but someone good will jump on this, and it's going to be interesting to see who and where they move, in what direction they'll move. So
yeah, cool.
That's it, yeah.
Alrighty. And next, Modern Warfare has sold more units in its first 3 days than any other Call of Duty game, eclipsing Black Ops 4's 600 million to 500 million. There was apparently a bit more rumored, but however, it has been camping in a building, so we don't know where it is. But that's okay. We'd go and find it, we get blown up like Claymore. Anyway, moving on. This game still makes me mad. Yeah,
I don't blame you, dude. I've talked to a few of my mates as well who've played it. They said the exact same thing we said last week. So.
I will say though, I'm very good at it. Sometimes, at times.
You're a good camper. You're good at.
Okay.
Hey. No. I say that as a compliment. I don't mean that you're not good at the other stuff. I just know you're a good camper because you're a good sniper shot.
I'm good at locking down an area. Thank you.
That's what I mean.
I don't sit in the building though.
That's what I mean.
All
right. So Ant-Man 3 has officially been announced. I think it was official. I mean, yeah, it's official.
Announced.
Yeah. With Peyton Reed said to be back at the helm, so he obviously directed the first 2. So it's awesome to hear that he's on the 3rd. I'm not going to go into massive detail about this because we've talked about it for the last 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, exciting news.
Yeah, we're happy. He did a good job on the first 2.
Excited to see what he does in the second. I think it's set to start. 3rd, you're right. I think there were details about it. I think it's set to start filming 2021 or end of 2020 and then come out 2022. So exciting. Again. Yeah.
And lastly, Overwatch 2 has been announced at BlizzCon. So Overwatch 2 is going to be like it's going to kind of be similar to Overwatch 2. So the Fortnite Chapter 2 is just going to be a whole new reworking. It's going to be new characters. So the characters are going to actually have more in-depth like character development. So originally in Overwatch, it's kind of like you have one ability for each thing, but now you kind of have like more abilities for each character. There's going to be new characters, new modes. They're going to have story missions for the first time, as well as just heaps of other stuff. So they're really going all out with this. There's not really much details that I know of about whether it's going to be a separate paid thing or it's just going to be an update. Or
I think it's an update. I
I
heard somewhere that it's an update. I don't remember where. Don't quote me on that.
I think maybe. I'm not sure if it's paid or not. I'm not sure the full details about it. But either way, it's very exciting. I love Overwatch, so maybe I'm a little bit biased in saying this, but it's very exciting either way.
I might get on it because of this. I haven't. I played it very briefly, but I think I might, because it's a whole new thing. I might, play it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. And can I do it?
You can definitely do it.
Oh, that was quiet.
So quiet.
I don't have. You know what? I never have my sound up very high. Okay. That's better. So we only have one rumor mill piece this week, and I'm going to read it for you. Is that DC may be developing a spin-off series from the show Titans for Deathstroke, the main antagonist in season 2. Is this a worthy spin-off series you'd like to see?
Okay, here's my deal. All right, there are so many horrible spin-off ideas that I think this might be the one that works. But I need to see Titan season 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say haven't seen Deadshot in Titan season 2. That too. I was thinking fucking.
I think it's all out.
Is it out?
It's out somewhere, and I want to
in the abyss.
And I want to track it down and find it, and then I'll give you my proper answer to this. But I think yes, but give me a couple weeks and I'll find it.
Well, ExpressVPN is a.
that NordVPN, that might be the way I have to
NordVPN is a. Sponsor us, please. Anyway, I haven't seen anything of this Deathstroke besides a whole couple like camera shots of them going up his body a little bit past a crotch shot, and then they cut out, and then maybe like his head down to about his chest and cut out. Like that's all I've seen of him. I've not seen him in action at all. So I'm gonna need to see this Deathstroke first. I'm looking at the Deathstroke pop vinyl right behind your head.
You just called him Deathstroke.
I'm getting confused.
Yeah,
I'm sick still.
You're not doing well.
Anyway, moving on. I'm ending this rumor mill right here. Moving on. So we have no Marvel or DC news other than what we've talked about so far, and we want to get into this whole streaming war debate. But we have a little bit of gaming news that has come out. Not a whole lot, but
just a couple bits and pieces here and there.
Here and there, just to spice it up for you guys. So, firstly, Death Stranding, that Hideo Kojima game that everybody is still confused about to this day, even though they know the plot and everything about it. The reviews are out, so they actually sent out a lot of copies very early. So the game actually comes out on the 8th of November.
Oh, see, I thought it was already out, and that's why all these reviews have been okay.
No. So the game's coming out on the 8th of November, and they've had reviews out. The reviews have come out and they're quite mixed. There's no lie about it. There's been a lot of companies, some companies have given it a 3 out of 10. A lot have been very positive. I've noticed that there's no really it's not bad. It's a lot of this game is amazing or this game is very subpar.
Yep.
I think IGN gave it a 6.8. GameSpot gave it a 9. Press Start Australia, who are usually very reliable in their reviews, gave it an 8 out of 10. A lot of people think it's a walking simulator. That's what some of the reviews are taking out of it, and other reviews are saying it's just an amazing story. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I think it kind of just makes me more interested in the game because so many people are having different opinions about it.
I feel like that was their whole marketing scheme from the beginning, to be honest with you.
Kojima's just, I don't know, man. It's just...
He's someone else.
He really is. It's honestly just...
I think that's what this is, to be honest with you.
But apparently some of the people that have reviewed it put about 85 hours into the game. Like some of the positive reviews have put about 85 hours into the game.
Maybe it's a thing where you really have to get deep into the story to fully enjoy it and understand it.
Yeah, exactly. But
which is kind of fair for most games, I suppose. But I think it's just the fact is that no one really knew what this game was. So to be like, you need to put so many hours in, it's kind of like, that's a bit daunting for some people.
I think the dev team, I got to give credit to them because I don't know what the fuck I don't know if they understood what was going on when developing.
I think they probably Kojima was just like, look, this dude's going to walk from this place to this place, fill in the gaps. and they were just like, what do we want to put here? Yeah, so
apparently a Sony executive or a PlayStation executive actually came out on an interview and said he actually cried within the first 10 hours of the game. That's pretty big for a PlayStation exec, like a high up at like,
considering the PlayStation library. Yeah.
Yeah, like saying, this game made me tear, like you need to play it.
Yeah, 100%.
So big ups to Kojima. I'm probably going to pick it up just in appreciation for the man.
Yep, I'll come over when the game gets juicy.
We'll do like at the end.
Yeah.
Apparently the ending scene though is longer than most movies. Like the closing credits scene.
Okay.
So it's a lot to take in, a lot to see. I'm very curious though to see what happens in this game, where it goes.
Likewise.
And furthermore, just to add to this, Kojima Productions, Kojima's company, are going to start making movies, which I think is fitting for him.
Yeah, I think that's probably the logical next step. He's kind of he's an artist in that sense, and makes sense. Yeah.
So that's that. And next, the ACCC has ruled that Fallout 76 customers or people who bought the game are entitled to refunds. Now,
interesting.
Yes. So, for those of you who do not know, the ACCC, I gotta find this one. The ACCC is the Australian something
Commission.
Australian Commissions. What do they stand for? I probably should have looked this up.
Yeah, you should have.
I really should have looked this up. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission. So basically, they rule if things are within fair, like legal things.
Yeah.
But basically, what they've said is that people who bought Fallout 76 are entitled to a refund because the customers did not get what they paid for. Which is a real slap in the face for Bethesda, the developers of the game.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Basically, yeah.
I would not want to give my money back.
Yeah. It's just basically just...
It's obviously on the backlash that we talked about last week. So if you haven't checked out that episode, go check it out. Because we did talk a lot more in depth about what Fallout 76 is doing at the moment, why it's so bad, kind of, all that stuff. So check that out. But yeah, it's very interesting because, that's a big ruling, obviously. The game's a year old now. Nearly a year old, right? I don't think it was this year. Was it this year?
I honestly don't know when it came out because it was that awful.
Yeah, so there you go. Like, it's been a while at the very least. So for them to rule this now, it's quite interesting.
I think it's more on the fact of the whole Fallout first thing that they brought out. That's what we talked about last week in last week's episode. So just to add on to what last week's, if you haven't checked it out, go check that out, come back. The things that they promised in Fallout first, they don't work. So the private worlds that they offer in the membership, people who have bought it, their private worlds are getting raided still by people on the outside.
Yeah, brilliant. That's what you want.
Yeah,
in a private world.
It's and things are like the unlimited storage space. The people that put the things in the storage space, the game deletes them. So you can put things in the storage space and then they come back later and there's nothing in it, and the game's just like taking it all and they can't get it back. So it's just very buggy and just like it's just like nobody tests the stuff that they put out. So
which is what you want.
So I'm very happy that they've done this. I won't lie.
It's very fair, I think.
Yeah, very fair. Good stuff, ACCC. We stand.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, this is kind of leading into our whole thing that we're going to be talking about. Streamer Courage JD. If you don't know him, he's just a big Fortnite streamer.
Yeah.
He has signed an exclusive deal with YouTube. So with the whole streamer contract thing going on, he is actually signed an exclusive deal with YouTube. So he's going to be uploading to YouTube and streaming on YouTube exclusively from now on. The dollar amount is 8 figures.
Oofed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least 10 mil involved in this contract deal.
They have a lot of faith in him.
I mean, that's how much all of Ninja and Shroud and all these big streamers who have been signing exclusive deals with Mixer or Twitch or YouTube, that's how much they've been getting. They're all signed under the same management, ironically, of Loaded Management.
Wow.
And Loaded Management have been going to work for all the streamers that are under them. They're in talking to YouTube, they're talking to Mixer, they're talking to Twitch.
They'd be loaded.
And they're saying, nice.
Thank you.
And they're saying, we want exclusive deals for these people. And if I was a big streamer, I'd be on the same thing. I'd be trying to get the bag. Because
it's what I'd be going for.
Because it's guaranteed money. That's the thing that's, given these streamers, choice is you know, if I'm a streamer and let's just say I'm a Fortnite streamer and I start hating Fortnite and I go play COD and nobody wants to watch me anymore because I'm playing a different game, but I have a guaranteed 10 mil I'm sitting on, I don't care. I don't give a damn. I'm playing COD all day.
100%.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it's also job security. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah, it's what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
We thought. Sorry. Oh, no, you go.
No, sorry.
No, please go.
I was like wrapping the topic up, so
okay,
you keep going.
I mean, yeah. Sorry, just quickly. We talked about this off air and stuff, and I was wondering how it's that profitable for YouTube to do that, or for any streaming service, in my opinion, to do that. Like, and Sam did kind of explain it. I still don't think. I don't know. I just think overall it's a bit ridiculous, in my opinion. I understand the value that it has. I just still think it's a tad ridiculous, but it's very interesting. It's a whole different streaming wars than we're talking about. We're
talking more about Netflix, Stan, and all that. But this is still a form of streaming. It's like gaming streaming.
Yeah, but I mean, streaming will evolve on these platforms in the next 2 years or so. So I'm gonna like, obviously it's a while away, but I'm gonna be very interested to see where the streaming, what's the word?
World.
The streaming world is in a couple of years or a year, and see how. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll just be everyone on exclusive contracts to different things, and then see where that goes from there. But yeah. Well,
I mean, yeah, it's honestly that's how it's gonna happen.
Yeah, give me awesome.
But yeah, good stuff. Go Courage, earn that money.
Yeah.
All right. So next, sorry, I just took a sip of coffee
Indigestion.
and I'm getting it. So basically, we're moving on to the whole streaming services debate. But we've got a bit of information about Disney Plus before we start that, kind of as a transitioner. So firstly, Disney Plus have announced or like commented in a statement that they will not have a rotating slate of licensed content like Netflix or any other platform. So basically what they're going to be doing is that when, you know, they launch, they're going to have their Disney content and they're going to chuck it on there. Whenever they have new movies or whatnot come out, they'll chuck it on there. And that's that. They're not going to be rotating things in or out. No licensing from other companies. It's just going to be exclusive Disney stuff all the time. Anything Disney, you can find it there. And I quite like that. I think that's just, I don't see why they would do something different. They own enough to have that on there and not need to have anything else.
I suppose it doesn't incentivize anybody though to continue. Like if you watch everything or everything that's good on there in the first month, I mean, obviously stuff will come out like after a while that they've got in the cinemas, but I mean, it doesn't incentivize you to be like, yeah, I'll keep going back, I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, what have you watched on Netflix?
Okay, no, you're right.
Yeah,
look,
I mean, like,
no. Logically, in the world that we're in today, that makes sense. But yeah, I get you.
Because I'm in a position at the moment where I'm watching The Office on Stan and Umbrella Academy. I started this yesterday on Netflix, but before Umbrella Academy, I don't think I've watched anything on Netflix in like a month.
I've watched Rhythm and Flow, and that's about it.
Yeah,
and maybe Big Mouth, but
yeah.
Like I'm with you. I've got Office on heavy rotation, and I use Stan more than Netflix.
Exactly. So it's just kind of one of the things we rotate between. I mean, Disney's a bit different, but you'll probably find, like The Mandalorian, that's coming out weekly. You've got to remember that.
That is true.
There's also these shows that are coming out weekly.
That is true.
But they're just not going to rotate other shows in or out.
Yeah, you are right.
So they're taking a whole different approach with what they're doing. They're releasing just episodic weekly, and that's that. They're just adding content, and I don't think they're taking stuff away through licensing, unless they want to take their own titles into the vault.
Of course, which I think is a very real possibility after a certain amount of time. But
yeah,
not for, I think, the big hits and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole point of Disney Plus is so people can access the vault and the classics. So who knows? But also another interesting thing that had come out is that a lot of the Disney Plus, a lot of Disney branded shows will actually be going to Netflix in 2026 due to a licensing disagreement. So basically what happened, I think Jacob understood this better than I did.
Yeah, do you want me to explain it, or do you want to explain
but basically, I'll start and you can finish.
Go for it.
So 2 years ago, Walt Disney company parted ways with Netflix in a public war declaration, whatever. But they left out the fact that in a deal, every movie released between January 2016 and 2018, like Black Panther, not Infinity War, that didn't come out at the time, basically will be back on Netflix around 2026 because Netflix took the rights to them in a deal. So basically that period of time was left out of the contracting, and due to the agreement, Netflix probably have the rights to them. Kind of like the Sony Disney Spider-Man deal, whereas if Sony was bought out by someone, Marvel automatically gets it back. It's kind of that same thing. Like, you know, Netflix retain it with the shows. Did I explain that right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Just to add on to it, so like obviously, like in 2012, Disney made the first agreement with Netflix to give them some of their shows and their movies, and that was for 4 years, and that was where it brings us to January of 2016. And so I think what's happened is, roughly from reading the article, I think what's happened is, like Sam said, similar to what Sam said. Sorry, they like the parting was 2018 from Disney and Netflix. So it's as if they forgot about the 2-year period where it was kind of up in air, and thus that's how Netflix kind of gets the rights reverted back by 2026. But it's a long time away, and I have no doubts that Disney will pull a deal or probably buy Netflix or something or other. Probably buy the world by then. I mean, it's 6 years or 7 years away, so we got time.
Honestly, yeah.
So it's looking likely. It's looking likely. Did you have anything else to say on it, or?
No, I just think it's quite interesting. Like Disney, I think Disney realized the reason Disney did this was because they realized how popular, how big they were getting, and they're like, we don't need you. But Netflix was smart enough to know that I think Disney was smart enough to know that Disney was going to be like that, and they've just ended up doing this. So good on them. Yep. And, yep. So we're going to be moving on. Jacob's going to introduce this whole topic because this was his idea. So I don't want to take his credit, take his thunder.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay, I was just really.
He literally
I'm excited about this.
Can I introduce him?
I didn't want to say it over the mic. I just felt it weird, so I was like, I'll just write it anyway. So, okay. So I figured a HBO Max got announced over the past week, and I felt like was really, really exciting. So I figured we'd do a kind of streaming wars kind of longer topic for this episode. And with that, we're going to kind of go into depth about a few of the mostly the big streaming websites and their partners and all that kind of stuff. We're essentially just going to break down the prices, what they have on there, kind of, I think in my opinion and our opinion, what we think is probably worth it and what's not, and maybe what's to come and the possibilities. So we're going to...
Let me add to this.
No.
This is under the impression that Australia's getting all of this.
Oh, yes.
I would not be nice to HBO Max if we're not getting it in Australia.
Oh, yes, yeah. Our assumption is we get HBO Max. Also, we're judging it based off Netflix Australia, and we're using Stan rather than Hulu.
But in saying that, a lot of Stan's content is on American Netflix.
Yeah. So
such as The Office.
Yeah, so it kind of works. Anyway, so we're going to start off with HBO Max, which just got announced over the weekend for May 2020. Might be pushed back. Who knows? That's what happens with everything these days. So they, off the bat straight away, they announced a new Green Lantern series, live action, big budget. We've heard it's going to be set in space, so that's really, really big news. Along with the Green Lantern series, they've announced a couple other DC shows that I wasn't that interested in. There's a DC high school show, which I don't like. It's got Elizabeth Banks directing it, who's done Charlie's Angels, the new one, which I don't think she's very good, but I'm going to ignore that. And through the new Green Lantern series, they've also got all the rights to DC movies and all Warner Brothers properties. They also now have Adult Swim, which means Rick and Morty. They have Cartoon Network, The Big Bang Theory, Friends. They're producing a new Looney Tunes show, which, despite being 20, I'm very excited for. And it will cost roughly $16.99 per month.
Yeah. Can I just add to this?
100%.
So I wanted to add to the list of HBO and where they actually, why they actually have all the rights to this. So HBO is actually owned by Warner Media. Warner Media is owned by AT&T. So under Warner Media, you have TBS, TNT, Game Show Network, which actually is 42% with Sony Pictures Television. You have all of TNT, you have all of HBO, all of Cinemax, all of Otter Media, which is like Rooster Teeth, Crunchyroll, so if you might see some anime on there. BTV, they own... They have CNN,
a lot. They have a lot.
CNN, Turner Sports is also like NBA. All of Warner Brothers. They own all of Warner Brothers.
Time Warner.
Yep. So I'm just going through this. Like Adult Swim as well is on there. So they own a large majority of TV movies. They also own, I think they own New Line Cinema as well. Yep, New Line Cinema. They own the CW. They own a lot of properties. So basically, this is why they have access to all these films. And it'd be safe to assume that all of these properties will be going on HBO Max. All the CW shows, like The Flash and all them. Arrow.
Yes, so this also, to add on to that, so in my opinion, this we'll get into the price, I think, a little bit later. But to me, this justifies the price.
Yeah.
Also, again, to add on it, this 100% confirms the DC streaming service is dead.
Yeah.
We kind of knew this for a while, but this pretty much confirms it. I mentioned to Sam as well, the TV show Swamp Thing that got cancelled because it had too big of a budget. There's a chance it gets picked up by HBO Max. It'll be available to stream the first season, but I think they might pick it up. It's apparently a very good show. It's another one that I want to add to my list, like Doom Patrol. So I'm excited to see that. But yeah, look, our assumption again is that we get this.
You'd hope so.
I don't know if we will.
If not, I hope we get a sponsorship from ExpressVPN.
Well, you think if we mention enough, we'll get it? I'm thinking.
Actually, no, I don't want it. Reverse psychology. I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I don't want a VPN sponsorship.
We don't want it. But look, the same thing goes. We also talked about this off air again. So in Australia, we have Foxtel, which pretty much gives us access to a lot of the American shows like CBS, HBO, all that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we'd get HBO Max without Foxtel being a part of it in some way.
I mean, Foxtel just offered, accepted it. What's the word? Partnered with Netflix already. So you can actually watch Netflix exclusives on Foxtel already. So I don't know if that means that HBO Max will even get a shot, because the rights to HBO shows are on Foxtel already. So I don't think that will happen, because ideally I'd like to see that. I mean, not ideally, but like, worst case, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
Because it means we still get HBO Max in some form. But it's not gonna happen because they have a partnership with Netflix.
Well, I just feel like I get that. I feel like it's got too much for it not to expand, not to be in anywhere but America.
Yeah.
I find it extremely hard to believe they're not gonna put this everywhere. And again, we've discussed this many a times. How much of this, if we get it available, how much of this content will be available in Australia? Because assuming so, I've definitely raised this point before, but does Friends now leave Stan, which it's currently on in Australia, because of HBO Max, or because we don't get it, it still stays in Stan? What's the go? I don't understand.
Might be a dual contract. It can just be on two places.
It might be, yeah. Because obviously Friends is in Netflix in America, so it could work out that way. But
yeah,
I hope HBO Max comes here. Look, it's probably gonna, all these streaming services, I'm not gonna bother with TV anymore. I've got this.
I know. The only reason I watch TV now, I think before I watched the Melbourne Cup today. Like, it's a big horse race in Australia, a very big one. I watched that on TV. And I watch the NBA on ESPN.
Yeah, same. Likewise.
But apart from that, and The Simpsons on a Saturday morning. But besides that, I don't watch TV because The Simpsons are going to be on Disney Plus soon, in about 2 weeks.
Yep.
ESPN, I might get KO or something.
You can get ESPN Plus even.
That too. And I think on Sportsbet you can actually watch it if you have a bet on. But I'm not going to put a bet on. But, anyway, long and short of it, there's ways around, like, everything.
Watching TV. Yeah. Nowadays.
There's no point. I mean, the older generations I understand, but how long, like, realistically in 20 years?
Look, we don't know.
I don't want to sound morbid. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not really worth preserving TV for 20 years.
Probably not, no. In saying that, should we move on to the Netflix and Stan aspect?
What part of that would you like to discuss?
Look, I don't know what more to discuss. I'm just going to say, at the moment, Netflix is $12.99 in Australia. Stan, I can't remember how much. I think it's $10. I think it's roughly $10, $11. It's kind of, I don't want to keep reharping, but it's hard to say what's going to leave both these streaming services if HBO Max comes. So it's hard to judge at the moment. I watch Stan more than I watch Netflix easily now.
But that's more The Office.
Not even if I took The Office out of it.
What else do you watch on Stan?
Community. I think the range of, not just because they have Disney, but I think the range of
Besides sitcoms,
No. I'm being serious. Like, I think the range of movies is better. I've watched Moneyball on there.
I think movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
I think the range. They've got the Star Wars. A couple of things. I think they have a couple Star Wars movies. No, maybe I'm wrong.
No.
I think I'm wrong.
I paid $7 for a Star Wars movie. Don't tell me that.
I think the range is better on Stan than it is Netflix. So, for me, like, if I had to drop one, I would easily drop Netflix in Australia. I think Netflix in Australia is nowhere near what it is in America, and I think it's kind of not great.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, Netflix did put a big focus on their whole exclusive content thing. And for TV shows, I think that was a good idea.
Yeah.
For movies, not a good idea.
No, I think so too.
Because their movies sucked.
Yeah, they're not great. We got The Irishman that comes out at the end of this midway
End of
through
November.
End of November.
End of November.
But like, I don't know. I don't think that those Netflix originals outweigh Stan's library.
No.
To be quite honest with you, Stan has all the James Bond movies. It's not my cup of tea, but it's nice to have them there. Like, I don't know. Stan to me is just superior in Australia. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Netflix have great shows, don't get me wrong. But not every day do I want to sit there and engross myself in a TV show. Sometimes I just want to sit back and watch The Office.
I feel like a lot of the Netflix shows are very in-depth.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't want that all the time.
No, I completely agree with you.
And having a nice sitcom is not bad.
And because How I Met Your Mother is not there.
Yeah.
That really, like, in all honesty, it sounds really stupid, this one show, but it really ruins it for me.
Yeah, because they have that 70s show, but it just doesn't compare.
How Much Your Fresh Prince, and that doesn't compare now. For me, it doesn't compare to
How Much Your Mother is just my favorite show. It's just gone.
Yeah. I'd love if they got 2.5 Men. I'd love that.
They do?
I'd love if they did.
They've
got Big Bang Theory, actually.
Yeah, they do. But still,
I've already watched all that, so.
If they hit 2.5 Men, I'll forgive them. Maybe.
It definitely swayed my vote. should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, so Apple TV Plus is a new one that they announced at the last big Apple keynote. And you actually got a free year of it.
Yeah, I didn't even realize this
because you impulse bought an iPad. Love to see it. So what does it entail? Like, what is Apple TV Plus for those who don't know?
Okay, so it's at the moment it's only got Apple Plus originals.
So is it like just another streaming service?
It is, yeah. So you've also got access to renting and buying digital movies, such as Spider-Man and stuff like that, which you did. But it's got this. So it's got one show called The Morning Show, which I don't know his name, but it's based off the guy in America who was on, I think, Good Morning America, and he has a button underneath his desk that he can lock his door, and he sexually assaults people from the show. Yeah, it's not great, but it follows. I know Steve Carell is playing him, and I don't think I'm pretty sure there's no comedic aspect at all in it, despite having Steve Carell in it. But there's that show, so I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like it sounds like an interesting concept.
No, I agree. And they've also got that Jason Momoa TV show called C, where there's two twins where no one else can see in this world except for the twins. So I'm kind of interested in seeing that. I'll see how that goes. But they literally, like, I'm not kidding when I say this. At the moment, they literally only have 6 TV shows.
I mean, what? But like, can I still rent like a movie or a TV show without Apple TV Plus?
Yes. Yep.
So you basically,
but you got to pay for those, obviously. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yep. But it's like you got to pay the extra $8 for like. I'm basically paying
for those exclusives. Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm paying $8 a month for about 6 shows. At this current
and obviously,
state.
and again, we talked about this just prior to this, but I think like it's going to be interesting to see how their library expands in the next year.
Yeah, of course.
We talked about a few weeks ago when Spider-Man came back that Apple might buy Sony. I still think that's a very real possibility, and thus they'll get the Sony library, which I think will definitely boost there.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely help.
It'll help them, which it does make it more enticing to me because Sony do have a couple good movies here and there.
You'll get Zombieland.
Exactly. So look, it's not the worst thing in the world. If I didn't get it for free, I wouldn't buy it.
No,
but that's purely because they have 6 shows on there.
I mean, I do want to see The Morning Show. Like now that you've just and see, like they don't sound like bad shows. Don't get me wrong.
God no. I mean, there's a I don't like Snoopy, but there's a Snoopy animated show. There's a show made by the creators of Sesame Street with puppets, which looks, if I was a kid, looks quite interesting. And there's a couple other shows, but it doesn't look bad.
But it's just not enough.
It's not enough.
There's nowhere near enough. That's I guess that's the only complaint or the criticism we have. But again, Apple do well at pulling things out of their asses. So
look, I'll start watching it and I'll let you know and I'll let everybody know here about what it's like.
I'll see if I can find a free trial. I might go buy a MacBook for the sake of it.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? We might, I might be the one with the impulse purchase.
Good chance, to be honest.
But we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
No, I'll take a look into it too. I don't know why, but I will.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And lastly, we have Disney Plus, which is coming. I thought it was it's November 16th. I thought it was 19th.
Oh, maybe it is.
It's
a week later. Yeah, you're right.
so
It's November 12th, America, November 19th for Australia.
Yes.
$8 is an absolute steal.
For the amount of content they're going to have on there.
Yeah.
They did confirm The Simpsons last week.
We talked about last week, I think, as well. Yeah.
But I'm just retelling you because of how excited I am for it.
No, trust me. I've already locked it in with Anna. We're going to be watching this together, the whole thing.
Are you going to watch all 30 seasons?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm going to start from episode 1, and I made sure I told her, you're not allowed to start watching when I'm not there. We're watching it together or nothing. So.
If you skip forward, we're done.
I've dead set told her that because she does it with every TV show. It's ridiculous.
Does she?
Yeah.
Anna, I don't know if you're listening, but if you are, I'm disappointed in you.
She does it with everything, man. Even The Office, and I introduced her to The Office, and I was so pissed off about that one. Anyway.
Moving on.
But it's an absolute steal. We don't need to go on about this again. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's probably the one I think is the most safe buy.
Yeah.
But look, I'm going to ask you a question right now, and I haven't written this down here. But if you had to pick, let's go 3 of these streaming services.
Yeah.
And let's go 4, but I'll add in. No, let's go. Let's go 3.
Okay.
But I'm gonna add in KO/ESPN because they're essentially the same thing. But
okay, Disney Plus, HBO Max, KO.
Yep, I would probably do the same. To be honest with you, I think This again, assumption HBO Max is coming in with everything. So I'd probably do the same. It's kind of a no-brainer to me. And look, in all honesty, like that's roughly what? So $20, 28. It's going to be around $40 a month, which isn't that bad for everything on there. And considering we don't already watch a lot of TV anyway.
Yeah, I don't watch any TV.
So it's not that bad.
I'm trying to pick up my game. I am slacking off in terms of the TV watching, the show watching department, but I'm trying to catch up, and that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, same here.
But that's okay. I think we're on track. But if you had to pick your 3, you're going to agree with me?
I'm going to completely agree with you. Yeah.
The only reason is Apple TV Plus doesn't have enough for me. Netflix a lot of their good shows have come and gone for me. Like there's no hype.
Stranger Things I've got a bit of hype for, but I think
come and gone.
I think the 4th season will be the last, and I can find that somewhere or watch it on someone else's. I think so. I'm not that sad about that.
And Stan, I haven't really dove into the Stan originals.
You got to dive in. Oh, actually no, I haven't. Sorry,
not
I haven't
like their original shows.
No,
so I don't think unless I do it and find out they're amazing and they've just been.
I don't think they're bad. They've got a lot more Australian produced ones. I know that.
I don't like Australian TV. I won't lie to you.
No, neither do I. I'm just saying.
So I mean, I'm sticking by my decision.
Yeah, I think Apple TV Plus might turn heads in a year, which I think is their plan. I think they just plan for the long haul. Apple TV,
of course.
If these few shows that I'm going to start watching are quality, then that's fine. But I think you're right. Yeah,
that's all right.
Give it some time.
I will be hopeful.
Yeah. So will I. So will I.
Alrighty. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
Not really. Go see Zombieland so we can do a spoiler review.
Sounds good. And what are you going to be watching this week? This is my departing question for you.
Ooh, that is a tough question.
Will you be starting Good Morning America?
I'm going to try, yeah.
Yeah?
I might start that tonight or tomorrow, actually. And if I think it's alright and average, I'll probably watch the first episode of C. And if I think it's really good, I'll watch it again. I'll watch the next episode straight away. So,
all right, we'll see how that one goes. Am I right?
You are right.
There's the knee slapper. All right.
And hold on. What about you? Just
I'll probably try and watch a bit more of Umbrella Academy. Yep. It's a very, very weird show, but I quite like it. I'm going to try and finish season 8 of The Office and start season 9.
Yes, please do.
But that's probably going to be it. My main 2 and Star Wars. I'm trying to get through all the Star Wars movies by November 15th when The Last Jedi, Fallen Jedi comes out. The movie
Rise of Skywalker.
No,
sorry, the game.
The game.
My bad.
The game.
Yes.
Fallen Jedi.
I'll be picking up that as well.
That's a pick.
Is that an Xbox exclusive?
No.
Okay, I've only seen ads for it on Xbox.
Yeah, they've got like a deal going.
Oh, I don't like that.
Anyway, that's it for the podcast this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the Regular Size Man podcast. If you'd like to support us on our social medias, please go check out at TRSM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. My name's been Sam. Jacob's name's been Jacob. Thank you for listening, and we will see you guys next week. Have a good one.